So, I've recently started playing the Suika game, so I thought it would be fun to take all the fruit from the game and transform them into human characters. Suika has 11 fruits, ranging from the mildly infuriating cherry to our beloved watermelon. They all have little faces, each one with a different expression, which will be my main guide to choosing a character for them. I'm pretty curious to see how it goes and how difficult it might turn out to be. At first, I quickly assumed that the cherry had to be the most annoying fruit in the game, so I should make it an annoying little brat. But then I looked at it once more and realized that that cherry isn't evil. If it's hurting anyone, it doesn't realize it, and even when it does get in your way, the damage is never that bad, and it'll just roll into a crack and out of the way. Overall, it's pretty harmless. So I decided to depict the cherry as an innocent, happy little kid. To remind us of cherries, I gave her round little low pigtails, shiny red shoes, and used lots of red and green. I tried using pinks, but it started looking very similar to strawberry shortcake. Even the face looks very similar, especially to her older designs. I also thought it'd be interesting to draw every character with the fruit they're based off of, so I drew Cherry holding all the cherries she could pick up with her dress, which is something I definitely used to do when I was little, even if most of them would usually end up on the ground. I feel that as a character she would definitely be kind and generous, and I can very easily imagine her always making small gifts to her friends and family, a polar opposite of her older sister. I think Cerise would be a cute name for her. Just Cherry would work too, but I just feel like making it French makes it extra cute. Like I said, Cerise has an older sister. Well, that's her. And the reason why Strawberry is her polar opposite is that she is the little brat I wanted Cherry to be at first. The Strawberry pretends to be scared of being dropped into the fruit tank, but really it's just deceiving us. It's actually been plotting our demise from the very beginning, ruining everything when you least expect it. Just let the peaches touch, please. So I made the Strawberry into a slightly older little girl, except with a way different attitude. I decided to show that she gets into fights a lot, so she's covered in dirt and blasters. She's chaotic and mean, so it makes sense. She just never knows when to quit and get out of people's way. So I guess you could say she's a wild strawberry. Her messy ponytail is supposed to remind us of the calyx, the little leaves part of the strawberry, and her freckles are supposed to remind us of the seeds on a strawberry. Other than that, the design is pretty simple. I like to imagine her parents try to dress her up into pretty clothes like her sister, but she rebels and messes them up. Like her shorts, that were probably long jeans at first, started getting in her way when climbing trees or something, so she chopped them off. And since I'm basic, I just called her Ichigo. But considering that apparently Japan is known for the tastiest strawberries, I guess it's justified. I believe that the Grape has to be another evil character. I hesitated to make her a spoiled rich kid in a private school uniform, but I just had to make her a little goth because I just love goth fashion. So basically, she's still a spoiled brat, except goth, and probably in a rock band. Drawing her hair was really fun. The hair itself is curly to remind us of vines, but it's also in a long braid so that it looks like grapes. I guess it makes sense for her to have fishnets because it kind of reminds me of those grid plant supports, which I guess can be used for growing grapes. I don't know much about growing plants. For colors, I used mostly purple and black and a little bit of green because I like how it contrasts with purple. In the end, I made her a classic rebellious teenager who probably loves teasing other people. Come to think of it, Ichigo must be a perfect target for her because of how easily she can get angry. So let's just make her Ichigo's babysitter or something, just to stir some drama. I decided for her name to be kind of fancy, so meet Vinette. And no, I promise that I'm not trying to make them all French. It actually comes from Spanish and it means vineyard. So basically yes, from what I read online, this fruit is a kind of mandarin, except it has a distinctive shape with that weird bump and probably a small taste difference. I decided to make this character a young, slightly awkward boy with Dekopons falling out of his grasp. The hints to the fruit are the freckles, the bag, and the beanie that reminds us of that distinctive Dekopon shape. And that one Pokemon trainer beanie. I also used lots of orange and brown, so not much variety when it comes to color, but overall I'm really happy with the design and I think it's cute. As a character, he's definitely a shy and clumsy person who gets easily stressed out. And since so far I've been putting everyone in the same universe, let's make him Ichigo's classmate, who later becomes her friend, and because of that unlikely combo, she eventually learns to manage her anger, and he learns to conquer his shyness. As for his name, since he's so proper to Japan, it would make sense to give him a Japanese name too. I thought of Deku because it kind of sounds like Dekopon or Kitsu, but it's apparently a female name. So I landed on Orangey because I couldn't think of anything better. Feel free to give him a different name if you find a better one. So next is Persimmon, not an orange. For the longest time I have thought that the Dekopon was a simple mandarin and the Persimmon was an orange. My whole worldview has shifted. So because of how betrayed I felt when I found out, I decided to give that character an orange mask. I didn't have much to work with on this one, but the elements I added to refer back to Persimmon here is her little knitted hat, along with her orange shiny hair. I also felt like drawing her as more plump, just because that's the first thing I think when I see a Persimmon. I quickly decided that I wanted her to be extremely quirky, so her design definitely reflects that. She's a free spirit, she likes to wear the tackiest jewelry, and brings her knitting supplies anywhere she goes, because you just never know when inspiration will strike. I have declared her to be Orangey's single mom, because I thought it would be funny if his mom was this very messy, carefree person while he is a very introverted, fearful kid. His mom probably tries to reassure him and encourage him to be more out there, well, because she's so all over the place, he literally has to worry for both of them. But not in an irresponsible parent kind of way, it's just how they are and it works out for them, so they're happy. Okay, I feel like I might be getting a bit too invested in these. Anyway, I decided to name her Percy because it suits her and I think it's cute. Okay, so I've decided this very early on. I want the apple and the pear to be a couple. And for some reason, apples remind me a lot of the countryside, so they're also gonna be farmers. I felt like making the apple into a cowgirl at first, and I had lots of fun drawing her boots. But in the end it didn't really make her apple themed anymore, so I gave her a cute apple themed overall dress and wellies, because she still needs a minimally practical attire for apple picking. I later went back in and made the skirt part into apple peelings, because I love making last second decisions. You have to admit though, that was a good last second decision. I tried to draw her hair in a way that reminded me of the shape of an apple, but I also gave her a strand of hair at the top, mimicking the stem. I made her hair mostly red with yellow underlights, like peekaboo hair. The rest of her outfit is also in apple colors, red, green and yellow. I don't know how to read the face expression of the apple. It seems very neutral, yet somewhat confused. So let's just say she's someone who enjoys the simple things in life, while being left slightly perplexed by modern things, like say using a computer for other things than playing Farmerama. For her name, I've thought of apple names like Fuji or Gala, but I preferred Pomona, which means apple in Latin and is also the name of the goddess of fruit trees. Next is Pe, Pom's former boyfriend, but you shall discover him in the next video, in the part 2. Thank you so much for watching. This video was really fun to work on. Hope you enjoyed watching me design all these characters. Let me know what you think of them and if you have a favorite so far. Anyway, see you in part 2. Bye!